Hello, welcome my beautiful vibrant souls to today's pick a card reading, where we are going to be looking at what is this eclipse uncovering for you. This one feels like a really important one, so I'm going to spend some time before we delve into the pile. Sorry, I realized I got lipstick on my mug, so I'm fixing it. I'm going to spend some time talking kind of about what this new moon eclipse in the sign of tropical Libra is bringing up in general. I'm also going to talk about some collective sort of channeled messages I was picking up on the shuffling process, and then get into each of the piles. So if you're not interested in the collective message, that's fine. So I will show you guys now, and then again after the collective message, the 3 signifiers that are depicted in the thumbnail. You can always skip ahead and just skip the channeled information, the collective info. So group 1 is designated by this blue gold stone. Group 2 is designated by this cinnabar. I always want to say cinnabon every time, and so I'm like, no, don't do it. And group 3 signified by this fuchsia agate. It's a nice little palm stone. It's like the perfect size for my little grabber. So I'm like, oh yeah. So like I said, if you don't want to do channeled info, you don't want to do information about the eclipse, that's fine. Timestamps are in the description box below. Okay, so eclipse energy in general is potent. Generally, lunar energy, well, especially for the full moon, we'll go from lunar phase to lunar phase. So, you know, full moon to full moon, with the highest potency being 3 days before and up to 3 days after. New moons are a little bit different because, you know, the way I view it, we set our intentions at the new moon, and then, you know, we take action toward these intentions over the coming 6 months. And then when we have the full moon in the same sign, excuse me, this is usually either when we have some type of show of our efforts, some type of manifestation. I have a little spot on my glasses. Oh, perfect. I just got these, so I'm like, oh, there we go, I broke them in. Or major blockages toward our goal come up so they can be dealt with, handled, removed, etc. Eclipse energy is always really strong because it lasts full potency for 6 months, right? Or you have the potential to tap into it for like 6 months. So this is going to be a new moon eclipse, meaning this is a really powerful time to incite change in your life. And this is going to be in the sign of Libra if you're using tropical astrology. This would be in Virgo if you're using Vedic sidereal. So, you know, overarchingly, a lot of what this is going to be a really great time for harvesting change on. And I think this is also really important too, because we did have the nodal shift a few months ago. Yeah, it was July 17th, I think. Yeah, a few months ago. So this is a really significant shift for us in general. And this is going to be a time where it's going to be powerful to start changes when it comes to that Libra energy in your life. So specifically with partnerships, in particular, equitable partnerships. Many of us in the collective have been doing quite a lot of work in the last couple of years when it comes to our self-worth, when it comes to our finances, what we want to create, as well as our relationships. And what is at the core of all those, I kind of already nodded to it, is a sense of value, right? What we honor and value in ourselves, and what we honor and value within others. Excuse me. So this is going to be a really powerful new moon for creating significant change, like big shake-up, big stir-up. Wish I hadn't said stirrups. When it comes to those areas of our life, right? So setting intentions, and I'm feeling really called to say this right now, but setting intentions that you are prepared to back up with action, right? In general, setting intentions is a great first step, right? But our manifestations don't really come to fruition without us taking some type of action, putting in some type of effort, some type of work. And in this new moon instance in particular, I feel that very strongly, right? So this would be, you know, it's a great first step. And I think a lot of you guys have already been doing this type of work where it's, you know, coming into awareness about, you know, what does and doesn't honor you, for example, in partnerships, coming into awareness of what is fair and what is not, what you are willing to give and what you require in return. But this is something where This is a new moon to set intentions that you are prepared to back up with actionable changes. And it's totally okay if there are things that you're just not ready for. You're like, I know I should, put up boundaries with my family. I know I should be standing up for myself at work. I know I should leave this job. And if you're not ready to act on it yet, that's okay. But this is really going to be, like, it's kind of this energy of, it's only really going to be effective if you're willing to back it up with action. Now, that doesn't mean you have to, go running, charging headlong into it and uproot your entire life. Like I said, many of you have already been doing the preparatory work. I'm feeling especially heavily in the last couple of years. But this is going to be a time where, if you're willing to take actionable, tangible steps toward these goals on a consistent basis, even like, let's say you have a goal to, find a better job because your job doesn't, pay you fairly for your work, or your boss is always overstepping your boundaries, whatever it might be. This would be like, even if your goal is, okay, 6 months from now, I want to be in a different job, right? Even if you take one step every month, right? Excuse me. Pardon my itchy scratchy nose, my asthma, my allergies are kicking up terribly. So even if you were like willing to take one step every month, right? Let's say like, let's say month one, you're looking at your accounts and your budgets and you're figuring out what you would need from a job to be able to be living the lifestyle that you would like to live, and you're planning it all out, right? Month two, you're, really like setting up your resume. Month three, you're sending out your resumes, and like maybe going on interviews, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be that you run at it all at once, or that you, oh my God, I'm sorry, that you make some big like tower moment change. It just means like, have this be things you're prepared to back up. I almost had to stand up for yourself on. So some of you already know what you want to do. You've already been taking steps. And this is really like maybe about telling other people, about setting boundaries with other people who have their own opinions about what they think you should be doing. There's just a huge thing of be prepared to back it up. Be prepared to stand up to, stand up to a version of yourself that thinks that you don't deserve to have what you want, is something that's coming through. There is a huge energy for the collective about a transformation and about a rebirth. Huge energy of healing. And there is a distinction with one of the cards at the bottom of one of the decks when I put it back in the box. There is a distinction of, this isn't something you're going through. You're here. You have arrived, right? You are like, you're ready, like you're already arrived at this new version of self. And I think it's taken so long for many of you, and it's been mostly kind of in the ether. It's been more an internal process for many of you, that you might feel almost like you're not ready for the external to change, or it might start to change and you're like, oh, no. And I get that totally. It can be intimidating, especially when you've been, taking small steps for a very long time. When things start to move quickly or start to move very tangibly, it can feel really unsettling. It is time for this to happen. And utilizing this eclipse, like new moon eclipse energy is really going to be very, very potent for moving you closer to those things. Again, a time for, putting into action, right? Or putting out intentions to then prepare to take action on, knowing your worth, having much better partnerships, having better relationships, having better business partnerships, better working relationships. Libra rules the 7th house. This is the house of partnerships. And also seeing yourself and others as a positive reflection of yourself, right? So the 7th house is one of the cusp lines in our charts, is always our descendant, right? And a really good way to look at it is your ascendant, your rising sign, the cusp line of your 1st house. Imagine it's like the front of your body, right? So you have, great vantage point. You can see it. It's what you project outward. It's what people see of you when they're meeting you kind of one-on-one. It is very visible. It is very noticeable. You can monitor it, right? It is something you are very aware of about yourself, right? It's how you go out into the world. And how you kind of at some level know yourself to be, right? At an external level. Your descendant is kind of like the back of your body. It's there. You have an idea of what's going on. But you can never really fully see it without some type of mirror. Somebody taking a picture, like literally using a mirror, somebody describing it to you. So your descendant energy in your chart, excuse me, speaks of, you know, and this is prudent because this talks about, you know, the 7th house again, which is Libra's natural house. This talks about the aspects of self that you have, but that you're either unaware of or you're only vaguely aware of. So it tends to reflect parts of other people, traits in other people that we admire. Because what we're trying to do, and this is really cool because this is a spiritual concept that also crosses over into a psych concept, you know, all about attraction, which is that we are attracted both psychologically and spiritually excuse me, to those that express traits we have deeply repressed within ourselves. And that's like what we reach out to for integration. We're saying, wow, I really admire this about this person. I really like this about this person. Not realizing that those are traits that we have. Those are traits that we can cultivate within ourselves. But we have so deeply repressed, or we are just unaware that we have those things, that we seek them out in others as a way of integrating them into our lives, right? And the reason why I think this is important is because some of you have been in a habit of putting others up on a pedestal, or of sacrificing in partnerships because you think the other person is more valuable, whether that's at work, whether that's, you know, in relationships, whether that's in like creative collaborations. You have put yourself on the back burner because you believe that this person is more valuable. You believe that what they have to offer is more valuable. You believe that they have something you need. A lot, there's also a card at one of the bottoms of one of the decks at the bottom, when I put it back in, about the 2nd house, which is traditionally Taurus's house. Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus, interestingly enough. But one of the things that Taurus's house, your 2nd house, can talk about is a sense of security. Excuse me. You know, it does talk about our material possessions, our career, our finances, what we feel we own, because it deals with our sense of security and connection to security. That's also why it talks about what we value, including how we put value on ourselves, what we find valuable about ourselves. And all of these are kind of, I think, at the heart of what's going to be uncovered for you with this eclipse, right? So putting the intention out there to make progress in these areas of life, to create more balance, more equity, more harmony, is going to be a really wonderful usage of your time and energy. And for many of you, this is going to be about learning to see other people in your life as equal to yourself in some way, shape, or form. If some of you are afraid to make a move because you're afraid of losing a sense of security, excuse me, this is a great time to set intentions and then be prepared to back those intentions up, of really stepping into your authenticity without fear of retribution. Some of you are afraid to be authentic and express yourself authentically because there's a fear of, you know, what if I lose this, especially financial security, right? You know, I can't say this because then what if this job fires me, right? I can't, I can't put up a boundary with this person because they have done so much for me or they are helping me out. There's a sense here where you're going to start to view your contributions differently. And this new moon eclipse is going to be really helping to bring in that energy of restoring balance. Excuse me. Sorry. So that's what I was getting for channeled info. Again, we have 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is marked with the blue goldstone. Group 2 with the cinnabar. And group 3 with the fuchsia agate. So cute. So if you need to pause the video, meditate, contemplate on your options. Excuse me. Sorry, folks. When you have picked one that best resonates with your energy, head to the timestamps in the description box below. And with that, I'm going to start with group 1. Hey, group 1. Okay. Sometimes I like to take a sip of water or tea before I start, but for you guys, I just wanted to jump right into it. Blue goldstone can be a stone that helps with instilling courage. It can also, for me, be associated with victory and success. It's hard to see, but it's like dark blue with all these inclusions. It looks like a night sky. I always call it like cosmic disco vibes. I really like it. I feel like you're getting a lot of spiritual support right now, like cosmic support. This feels like, you know, again, because I kind of just wanted to jump right into it, whatever's coming through, whatever's getting uncovered feels like a continuation of something that you have a lot of momentum behind, and you are bound towards success. This is the next natural step in your success journey. You need to know that. I also am really drawn to the fact, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like slightly slanted. So this tower, if you were to hold it up evenly, this tower still like leans at an angle. There's something where I feel like, it's almost like this energy of you've had something be stacked against you, but it's like you still managed to stay level, right? This is not, you know, even, this is not cut, but it, you know, it's hard to see, but it stays up, right? Like, let's see. This is not a good example. So like, it's not really even. I don't know if you can tell. It's like leaning to one side, but it still stays up, right? You've had some type of significant obstacle to overcome, and yet you still stand, right? Maybe sometimes a little wobbly. Maybe, you know, you got to get creative with it, but it's nothing that you can't handle. There's a very empowered energy here. So even if you have moments where you doubt yourself or moments where that energy dips, I feel like that's generally speaking your disposition. So I wanted to use tarot cards as signifiers for the thumbnail, but then I felt called to leave them. So I want to look at what this is first and then get into your oracle cards, and then I'll pull more tarot later, but let's see. Yeah, okay, you have the Chariot. Talk about success and willpower. The Chariot reverse, some of you might be Cancers. There's a sense here where I feel like right now you might be experiencing self-doubt. Again, this is, you know, in reverse. So you might be doing a little bit of shadow work, because for me, the Chariot here with the black and white horses here is so successful because they have done their shadow work. They know all aspects of self and they are integrating them. They work with all parts of their energy, not against it. And it's kind of like, again, the image of the tower. If you tried to like, you know, if you tried to like put it, you know, even at the bottom, it would tilt and fall over. And again, just because it's like crooked doesn't mean it doesn't stand. So there might be something where you're going through something, right? Some of you found something out, or you're experiencing a challenge and it makes you feel off kilter. You will find your balance again, right? Very Libra energy. You will find your balance again. You are getting a lot of support. You are destined for success. Even look at the dark blue with the stars here. It's very similar energy. I really like that. For some of you, because my eyes just started like hurting really bad. For some of you, this is about being able to see the path forward. Some of you may have experienced blockages. Everything may have seemed like it was about to collapse, or like it is collapsing, and you don't know what to do. This is going to clear up for you, right? So you might be in a moment of darkness, but this is temporary, and it's important that you know that. So let's see what you have. You have Grace 24. Some of you, that might be your name or the name of somebody important to you. For some of you, this is a passed on loved one named Grace that is with you from the other side, guiding you. So that's really nice. 24 reducing to a 6. The frequency of grace supports our smooth adaptation to and anticipation of life's currents and changes as we evolve toward a higher version of ourselves on this earthly plane, bridging the divine with the human essence. Yes, this is all about flow, especially flowing with changes. You have King Tide, plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. I love this for you guys. Yep, you have Sacral Chakra with inspiration, card 11, that reduces to a 2, but that's also a master number. So again, quite a lot of spiritual support. The 6th house with craft. Okay, so for some of you, this is really in your work. We have work, details, health, well-being, diet, service, daily rituals, contribution, organization, purification, skills, apprenticeship, and method. Really drawn into health, organization, and method. Hang on, sorry. Sorry about that, folks. It's tough this time of year. I'm struggling with my seasonal asthma and allergies very badly. So thanks for standing by. And then Avenger. Ooh, okay. Desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Okay. All right. What is getting uncovered for you this eclipse is a sense of purpose and understanding with something you've been struggling with. For some of you, this is a work-related issue. For some of you, you've been struggling to find your purpose. For some of you, you've been struggling with a health problem. No matter what it is you've been struggling with, this even can be where you become aware of, sorry, I have an itch. You become aware of some type of injustice and it really weighs on your heart to the point where you feel called to action. This is leading you to an important part of your path. This could, for some of you, even be your purpose. There is something about the way you would normally do things might be being challenged with methods standing out to me. I grabbed a tarot deck. The way that you would normally handle a problem might be being challenged. What is this about? This like method kind of energy. Justice. There's that Libra. Okay. And then Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Yeah, okay. And then the Two of Swords, more Libra energy here. Okay. And the Queen of Wands at the bottom. Interesting. You could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I think the way that you're being asked to approach this shift is different than the way that you would normally do it. For some of you, you're being called to be more in your feminine energy, regardless of gender identity or expression, just with that Queen of Wands, because she does not chase, she attracts, right? You're being called to work based on your energy, not based off of maybe a set schedule. Hang on, sorry, I'm trying to, excuse me. I'm trying to tune in here for a sec. So for some of you, you're being called to work differently. What I see is for some of you, you're having like a big shift in your life. Again, for some of you, it's a health problem. You may have lost a job. And as a result, you're having to rethink how you do things. You're having to flow with that, which might be hard. You're having to draw inspiration from a different place. Some of you are coping with a health problem or with a physical loss through your creativity. And that's very, very different than how you might normally handle things. I think a lot of you are very comfortable being in your masculine energy, which is externally oriented, action oriented, right? I'm going to do things. I'm going to go after it. Your feminine energy is a lot more about being receptive, creative, you know, nurturing that that intuitive insight, right? Really creating it within yourself, within your own life first and foremost, and that attracts the same to you, right? Excuse me. For a lot of you, you've been in this energy lately of feeling stuck, feeling like you don't know which way to go forward. We have the red blindfold, which for me makes me think of the red thread of destiny. It's like you know that something important is happening, but you can't seem to figure out which way to go because the way that you would normally do things isn't working here. It doesn't apply here, but you don't necessarily know what you're being called to do. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you're not moving forward, if you feel like you're having to stand still and kind of blend into your surroundings, blend into your life, not really like take decisive action one way or another, just know that A, this is because you are healing in some way, shape, or form, but B, this is exactly where you need to be and what you need to be doing right now. I feel as if the universe is bringing you divine justice for something that you have experienced. A lot of you have accomplished a lot when it comes to breaking down karmic curses and patterns and generational patterns, like a lot. And you might be in this period of rest right now. Some of you have just come to this place where what you were doing just no longer appeals to you. You're not inspired by it. It's just dead energy. And it's like, I don't know what else to do if I don't do this. I don't know what else to, I don't know how else to do this if I don't do it the way I've always done it. And there is a sense here of feeling stuck in one place. For many of you, like I said, you're in a period of rebalancing and healing. There's a huge theme of balance here. That is where you are understanding where your truth, where your breakthrough is going to come through. With all these kind of clarifying, sixth house and method, I feel like the method by which you move forward and you do things is changing. And it's one that is a lot more based on peace and finding balance and harmony first within self and then with the world around you. For some of you, like I said, you are exposed to something that feels unjust. It's either maybe like, a a social cause, right? Maybe for some of you, this also has to do with health, where like you're going through a health struggle and it's inspiring you to want to help other people who are experiencing the same thing. Some of you, this is where, you know, your health meets justice in the sense that maybe you decide to like go vegan or vegetarian. There's something kind of like that, right? There is justice in this situation, and you need to know that, because right now with that Chariot reversed, it feels like you're in this place of feeling like you have been defeated. And whatever you're experiencing right now, it is setting you up for justice and for a win. And what's going to be uncovered is the path forward, because many of you have been stuck. Like I said, some of you have been dealing with a health issue. This is going to end up serving you later. The way that you are learning to cope with it and deal with it, what you are undergoing, this will serve you later. But right now is a time for balance, a time for healing. And what this new moon eclipse is uncovering is a way to kind of flow with the pacing and the timing, both when it moves forward and when it's pausing. As well as the understanding of why this was always working out in your favor. Like, you need to know that. I want to clarify what this Avenger energy is. Oop, dropped a couple cards there. The Page of Pentacles reversed. This feels like a childhood issue, possibly a generational issue. Possibly talking about a lack of stability. This could be an inherited health problem. This is what I feel, you are having success and you are solving something in a way that other people are not. So this could be where maybe you're getting some type of health issue that people in your family have had for generations, and you try something different. Like maybe you try doing like the anti-inflammatory thing. Maybe you try, you know, a certain type of diet, or like a certain type of, you know, holistic exercise kind of regime, or you try something different, right? And you are having success where other people did not. Yeah, because we have the Page of Wands here. There's the sense of trying something new, right? Getting enthusiastic. For some of you, this is a shift that inspires you to create. And it's bringing something forth from you. Wow, okay, the Queen of Swords here. And the Four of Swords reversed. Yeah, I feel like whatever this is an inherited issue for many of you, or this stems back to, this touches on something from childhood. Either your childhood, again, like a family issue, both. This touches on something where things could not grow, things could not flourish. There was no sense of stability. Maybe this is a long-standing health issue. And what's coming up with this is you're about to get, the results of this is that you're going to be very well educated about this thing, right? You're going to be very intelligent about this. This has this energy of like a lot of you took this situation in stride and you're like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out a solution. I'm going to make this happen. A lot of you had to set boundaries in your life with whatever this energy was. So if it's about stability, you know, it's like, I'm going to cut all the chaos out of my life and we're just going to do it. You know, if this is like a health problem, it's like, nope, you know, I mean, it's like, I'm going to do the whole 30, but like however long it takes, or I'm cutting things out, in order to try to find peace and in order to try to find healing. And what I feel like this new moon is uncovering is information. It might be a breakthrough. What is this new moon uncovering more specifically? The King of Pentacles reversed. Okay. The Nine of Cups reversed. Wow. And the King of Cups upright. Oh, okay. The Tower reversed at the bottom. For a lot of you, this feels like you're going to be letting go of a masculine energy. Now, this doesn't have to be a person. This could be even like the image of, you know, what you thought you wanted in a partner. This could be who you thought you had to be. Some of you are letting go of this dream that you've been building toward for a long time, and you're going a different route, right? You're taking a different path. You're willing to let it go here, right? Because I feel like with the King of Cups, there's either somebody else you're embracing, or there's a different way to be, right? Some of you are, because like King of Cups and Queen of Swords could not be more different. Masculine, feminine energy of the heart, of the mind. But they can also, they have a middle ground, right? Not everything is spoken between them, but there is a reciprocity. There is a fairness. They can work well together when they're on the same page, right? There's a sense here where I think a lot of you have gotten really clear about the types of people you want in your life. And as a result, this new moon is moving people and circumstances out of your life that are just not serving you. These could be people who don't believe in your dreams. These could be people who you feel very attached to but are not really like members of your soul family. You don't feel connected to them at the soul. People who don't understand your vision. And I feel like instead you're going to be embracing this energy within yourself and within others of people who just like unabashedly love you and you love them. For some of you, you've been on a healing path for a long time where you've been taking dedicated action and it hasn't seemed to amount to anything. And what you're getting is insight and information that is going to make you happy. For some of you, you've been pursuing one career for a long time, and you're going to instead be choosing something else, something that provides a lot of inspiration and something that makes you very happy. And this is kind of like this king tide energy where it's, you know, plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. Some of you, it's so interesting too, because this version of temperance is halfway, you know, like of the water and of the sand, right? Of the water and the earth. And it's like you've been stuck between two aspects, right? What is practical and what makes you happy. And you're choosing what makes you happy, I feel, for many of you. It's also discerning about people in your life, what makes sense, what might be materially stable for you versus what actually makes you happy. Yeah, because I got the deck and we have the Page of Cups reversed. I think a lot of you have been used to cycles of not having your feelings matter, and you're not doing that anymore. Yeah, the Seven of Cups reversed. You're getting very, very clear on what you want, and that's why it's going to be coming to you. So, you know, there's a lot of different themes coming through in this group, but what I'm getting is that this eclipse is going to be uncovering what it is that you actually truly want, right? The types of people you want in your life, who you want, the type of life you want to live. The 6th house is all about a healthy mind, body, spirit connection. So all areas of our life are in balance and it feels good. It feels healthy. So you guys are going to be getting really clear on what decisions you need to make, what cuts you need to make in order to make that happen, right? And for some of you with this Avenger, this is really coming in and standing up for yourself, seeking justice for yourself. Again, very heavily predicated on us being able to flow with the change, being able to accept that we'll have to release some things, we'll have to take certain chances. But I see very heavily that this eclipse is going to really bring in a lot of clarity of thought, a lot of greater understanding about who and what is getting you closer to your goals and closer to that feeling of emotional fulfillment, right? That 7 of Cups reversed, that's getting revealed to you in no uncertain terms, so you can make the decisions you need to make, specifically with the doves, to bring peace into your life. So I think that's just about everything I have for group 1 for the moment. Thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you a safe, happy, healthy eclipse. And yeah, let me know how this resonates in the comments. Let me know in the weeks and months to come. Take care. Bye. Hi, group 2. Okay, you guys chose the Cinnabar. Yeah, Cinnabar. I feel like you guys may have spent a lot of, some of you might be middle children. I feel like you may have spent a lot of time in your formative years getting overlooked. And there's something where this has created this kind of like more quirky personality or more eccentric, a little bit more individualistic. And this may be something that was very hard for you before, but I think you've really grown into it. You've really grown into your own. This is a stone very much associated with success, abundance, victory. It kind of reminds me of the Six of Wands a little bit. And there's something where I feel like you're getting noticed. Some of you might have a lot of freckles or like little moles. I feel like you're getting noticed, or birthmark. Some of you might have a really noticeable birthmark. But I feel like you're getting really noticed. You're getting recognized in a new way for this. So this eclipse, I feel, first and foremost, is going to be uncovering. Yes, I do feel like this is a greater appreciation of self, but I actually think this is other people seeing your talent in a new way. So I initially pulled these tarot cards as signifiers, but then I felt called to leave them as part of the reading. I will pull more tarot after the oracle cards that I've already pulled out for you, but let's see what you got. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, yes, yes. Dude, obviously, this is only the second group and we just started, but I don't pick a group before I do these because I don't want my own personal life to influence my interpretation. But I'm like, oh shit, I hope I get this one. I always roll a dice for it after. I'm like, oh, this would be a nice one. Yeah, you guys some of you are doing incredibly well financially. And it's because you have this effortlessness, right? In this one, she's got her eyes closed and she's laughing, her face raised to the sun. Like, she doesn't even have to look, right? She just knows that the pentacles are falling off the tree. She's there to collect them. Like, yes, everything in the right time. Some of you might have Venus and Virgo, something I'm getting, because that's the Nine of Pentacles, if my memory serves me right. Some of you have, like, a content channel, or you are, you have a good social media following, and you're about to get a lot more traction in those areas. You might be getting more partnership deals. You might be getting like, like more people want to work with you. More people want to, collaborate with you, stuff like that. If I could talk, I'm too excited. So let's see what you get. Warrior, yeah. My rule of thumb with this deck is if it comes out upright, I read the light attributes. So strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. I think a lot of you have done quite a lot of work when it comes to conquering your ego. I feel you may have gone through a phase where, initially when you were younger, you may have felt inadequate and felt rejected. Some of you may have overcompensated by either becoming excessively guarded or by almost like puffing yourself up a little bit in response. And I think now you guys have stricken a really wonderful balance where you feel confident in yourself, excuse my burp, but you don't feel like you have to defend yourself, or like you have to defend every choice. There's something like that, right? The most skilled warrior of all knows when to go to battle and when not to. And there's something here where I feel like, ironically, you guys are very just peaceful with yourselves. You're very independent as well. You're very comfortable with your independence. That may not have always been the case, but I do feel like you have moved into that. So let's see what you get. The Soul Star Chakra with Soul Healing, 35 reducing to an 8. I love that. Okay, the Soul Star Chakra, very active 8th chakra for you guys, with Universal Light, 34 reducing to a 7. Yeah, this is really beautiful. Commitment, I really like this, 13 reducing to a 4. The frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being and with unwavering belief. I have really bad seasonal allergies and asthma, and I was coughing my ass off in group 1. And like, case in point, I am still coughing, but immediately as soon as I read that commitment card, I felt like I could breathe a lot easier. So some of you, again, you're getting a commitment from somebody, you're getting a contract, you're getting a better job, you're getting some offers. There's money attached to this for many of you, or some type of promise of future security. And this isn't like, yeah, maybe, if you do this, it will lead to something more. And this is like, no, even if you're not getting paid for it right now, you will get paid for it. It's in writing kind of a deal. So there's a sense of like, okay, I can breathe out. Libra, hey, some of you are Libras. The Idealist, harmonious, cooperative, balanced, socially aware, artistic, people-pleasing, fair, idealistic, aesthetic, choosy, aspirational, geometric, graceful, considerate, obliging, indecisive, judgmental, and flattering. Drawn into cooperative, artistic, and indecisive. Forgot to mention this too. You're the only group that got 2 of these cards. They flew out together. And I love the fact that they're both the Soul Star Chakra and the Water Carrier. What really matters, reflect, reprioritize. A lot of you have done a lot of shadow work. You have really thought to yourself, I almost said talk to yourself. Some of you might like to talk to yourselves about what is important, what you actually want to put your energy into, what's worth fighting for, and what is kind of just like not really worth it. For a lot of you, this has come after a period of time. You might, like I said, have a very active 8th chakra. This has come after a period of time of a significant change, right? And like the crown chakra is our connection to source. But for me, you know, the messages we get through the crown chakra can usually be a little bit more about, you know, our own journey, our own sort of connection to everything, how source is connected to all. It's very, very, you know, holistic and all encompassing. But the soul star chakra and then I can never remember the name of the 9th chakra. Your 8th and 9th chakras can be more about connecting to universal wisdom. Some of you have been receiving significant downloads, I feel, in the last year about kind of like what it all means, right? There's a sense here of like the grand scheme of things, not just in your life, but kind of just like for human beings in general. And this is like a really big deal. And for some reason, I feel like this helped you guys release something. What is this that you released? I'm picking up the tarot deck. It's too big for my little grabbers. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Some of you may have released a wound with a mother. Some of you have released a little bit more of the material world in favor of the spiritual. What I was almost getting when I picked it up, though, some of you have released kind of rigidity of a vision, right? Yeah, talk about rigidity, the Emperor, the Page of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Cups. Okay. Aries energy, the 5 of Cups reversed to the bottom. Okay. A lot of you have released relationship wounds with your parents very heavily. A lot of you have gained a higher perspective. Notice how we have the water flowing in, flowing out. A lot of you have gained a higher perspective. And this also can apply to your relationships in general. It's very Libra energy. A lot of you may have been healing your Venus very significantly, your Venus energy. But a lot of you have gained perspective about kind of the process of being human and why we do what we do. And because a lot of you had some deep childhood emotional wounds that needed to get, I want to say healed. I almost said filled, like having your needs filled. There is a lack of, I feel like you guys, there's a lack of structure and discipline, but there's also a lack of nurturing, right? There may have been a lot of situations where, especially with that warrior energy, you had to fight for a lot of things. You had to scrap for it. A lot of you might have had this almost unhealthy 9 of Pentacles energy where you were hyper independent. You couldn't accept help, where maybe like you were alone a lot, but it wasn't a good thing. And so you had like kind of a distorted relationship with yourself where you're comfortable being alone, but it's not healthy, or like you're comfortable being alone, but you have trouble being with other people. It's like, you know what I mean? There's a wound there. And I think, oddly enough, this hyper independence has been the thing that's kept you from truly embracing your power before, because there was all this like unhealed stuff, right? There are these unprocessed emotions. And I feel many of you have gotten this higher wisdom and understanding about your journey and about the, like I said, the human experience in general. I just did a reading recently that I put out, and it was deep channeled messages. And it was where I was using a very imagery heavy oracle deck where you just kind of like divine and you channel information about the images. There's no words, there's no explanation, nothing like that. In the first group, I think this is a very similar message. So if you feel so called, you could go check that out. Oh, that tea is really good. Yes. Okay. Yeah, and it's just a sense, I don't think these are lotuses. No, they're not, but they look like lotuses. There's been quite a lot of enlightenment here. Like a lot about the relationships in your life. And also about how to fill the needs that you did not get. I feel like a lot of you went through this experience in childhood where you may have had the appearance of structure, the appearance of abundance, right? Some of you may have had like maybe your material needs met, but were emotionally impoverished. Some of you may have had like discipline, but it was unhealthy. And there's something where, for some of you, there are two Aries in your household, and they were just always squaring off with each other. Or you might have, like, you might be an Aries or have Aries placements, and then one of your parents was, or a sibling, and it's like you guys were always butting heads. I see two powerful people here, right? But with very, very different ways of wielding power. Like, this is kind of an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. And there are times and places to be both. And I think for you, finding your independence, finding your personal power has been a journey not only of kind of understanding that balance and kind of like when to be either form of power and when to relinquish, when to step back. Again, what battles to fight and how. But in healing the wounds around both of these misuses of power. Pardon me. Like, it almost makes me think of, let's say you had a parent who was like always struggling financially or really chaotic. The home was just always like, you know, there's a million things going on. Nobody was ever tending to your needs. Like, this is kind of your physical needs. You know, or a parent who even was struggling with an illness to the point where like they could not be there for you, right? You know, this is kind of you're putting them to bed kind of a thing. And so you like lacked that. And then like, let's say, you know, if it's a parent who like was just always in dire financial straits, the other parent may have responded by being hyper controlling, right? There's kind of something like that. And that's not really a healthy dynamic. There's something where like one person may have been very selfish and the other person then was incredibly withholding. There's an unhealthy dynamic here, again, around different ways of wielding power, right? This is fire energy, very action-oriented, masculine energy. This is earth energy. This is very, this is feminine energy. This is very like stable, nurturing. This is something that can move fast. This is something that takes its time and grows. There are merits to both ways of wielding power, but I feel like there's a lot of sort of unhealthy stuff that you guys had to kind of sift through. But you have found this place of your own personal power, and it's come from healing. And all of this healing is with this very significant inspiration from your guides, right? We have soul healing here. This is where you're healing not just your own self, but you're healing your lineage. Some of you might identify as like starseeds, light workers. You're doing very spiritual work here. So what this eclipse is revealing, I feel, is the sense of really knowing yourself, really stepping into your own power, a greater commitment to self. Some of you are having a greater commitment to your art. Some of you are experiencing more commitment in relationships. What is this commitment energy? I was really drawn into, our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being with unwavering belief. You are believing in yourself. As a result, other people, I feel, are believing in you. They're wanting to work with you. Two of Swords, you're believing in your power to make a decision. The Nine of Cups reversed. Okay. Wow. And the Four of Wands reversed. Okay. Some of you, you're walking away from something you wanted. Some of you, okay, so for some of you, there's the potential of a significant union with somebody. And I feel for many of you, this is somebody who you used to be looking at through rose-colored lenses. See how she's only got one over her eye? This implies that you have a much more balanced perspective now. But this is something where I feel like you might be getting this offer. You may have gotten this offer. You might even be in partnership with this person. And there's something here where this is something you used to strive for. This is something that was a wish. And I feel for a lot of you, you're realizing that whatever it is you were wishing for, whatever it was that you had been wanting, it's just not for you anymore. What is this thing? Because I'm so nosy. What is this thing? This Four of Wands kind of energy here. Two of Pentacles. You guys are making a decision. You're going a different path, I feel. And the Tower reversed, because you guys have done so much work. I think you wanted this thing, or you wanted it to happen like this when you were in an unhealed place and you're not there anymore. The Sun reverse. This could have to do with a Leo. This could be somebody you've known since childhood. This is somebody who makes you really happy. I feel like there's an inner child connection here. The Magician reverse. This is somebody that you had manifested into your life, but you had manifested them in before you had finished up all this work or before this amount of progress. What is this? Yeah, the Eight of Swords. And that's why I feel like you couldn't see them clearly. The Four of Cups. This is somebody who may have rejected you. Also, we talk about like, that's an attractive Four of Cups. Good for them. This is somebody who, it's like if you're familiar with the Light Seers Tarot, the Devil, I'm like, that's a hot ass devil. Good for you guys. When tarot becomes sexy. Yeah, I feel for many of you, this is something where maybe you were really holding on to this, you really wanted this, and you're letting it go. For some, this is where the offer is coming back around, and you're realizing that that's just not for you anymore. Excuse my burp. This is something that you've been trying to manifest in your life, and I feel that you are releasing your energy about this manifestation. It's saying, okay, I'm releasing my hold on it. I'm calling my energy back to me. I would like to move in a different direction. So some of you might get a lot of your energy back. Some of you might start to notice the other manifestations in your life start to move forward. For some, this is your soul's calling, your soul's purpose. For some, this is a home, a living situation with the Four of Wands reverse and the Tower reverse. You're realizing that whatever you have been reaching for is not really what you want. Because I think it suited who you were, not who you are. There's almost this energy of a portal here that you guys are passing through, that you have gone through. And that means that what you're reaching for looks different. What are you reaching for now instead? There's a lot here about creativity. The Emperor. Okay, so this could be a different masculine. This could be Aries. This could be you really just like calling the shots. Some of you, you thought you wanted to get married and you're kind of like, no. Or you thought you wanted to be in a serious partnership. You're kind of like, no, I'm good on my own. This is good. The Sun reverse. Yeah, this is, you know, this is like for me, this is a hell yes when it's upright. And reverse, this is yes, but. So it's still the most positive card in the tarot. But it's like, yes, big yes, but it's going to look different than you thought. You know, yes, but adjustments need to be made. Yes, but it'll take longer than you thought. Your happiness is imminent. Your success is imminent. You are going to be sitting pretty and loving your life. But it's going to look different than what you thought. And notice that here we have two people and here we only have one. And the two people here are children. This is what I mean. I feel like whoever you were holding out for, whatever you were holding out for, it was attached to unhealed childhood wounds. And that's why you resonated with that at the time. The Six of Pentacles reverse. This is something where there was no equity in this. Not because of a lack of desire, but because it was two children trying to play the role of two adults. I'm hearing two adults in love. There's a sense here where you're releasing something because it's just not serving you anymore. And it's not even just that it's not serving you. So it's like, yeah, I know I need to move on. I feel many of you are finally saying out loud to yourself, I actually don't want this. This isn't really for me anymore. The Five of Pentacles reverse, because you're not accepting things out of fear of loss, out of fear of being alone. You're no longer in a space of emotional poverty, so you're not accepting things that don't honor you. And a lot of you, there's also there's a material component here too, right? Where this also can be applying to your finances. I feel this area will hit home for you in one area, but will also create changes in the other. So if you've really struggled with financial poverty, this is where you're having these breakthroughs and it's very meaningful to you, but your relationships also prosper and vice versa. If this is really about emotional poverty, this is where you're coming to terms with something emotionally and it hits very deeply for you. And as a result, your finances improve too, because those two are very interconnected. If you want to know more about that, let me know. I'll make a separate video. The Lovers reversed. Gemini energy here. The Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Look at all the peacocks. I feel, yeah, you guys are choosing something with your heart and soul. And a lot of you are choosing to walk away from a partnership that has meant something to you in the past. I feel, for many of you, I don't feel this person is like your current partner. They might be. For some of you, you're releasing an old view of what you thought partnership had to look like. But this feels like you're releasing somebody from your past. Somebody who you haven't been able to get on the same page. somebody who I feel like you really like each other, you love each other, you enjoy each other, and maybe there's like kind of a question of like, is this ever going to come back around? Are we ever going to figure it out? And there's this sense of releasing it, of like, you know what, I'm actually good doing my own thing. I'm actually good on my own. And again, because you've healed and you've grown past this. And with the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups, there is this renewed emotional enthusiasm for life. This is a new journey and being excited about it, right? And this is somebody who's very emotionally stable, who's very emotionally abundant in themselves. This is where you're loving your life. You're in this place, 9 of Pentacles, the Emperor, Queen of Cups, Page of Wands. You are calling the shots and you're loving your life. And it's kind of like, it's okay if it doesn't happen. It's okay if, you know, again, with that warrior energy, it's like you've been through so much and it's really shown you what you want to fight for and what is just worth releasing. A lot of you are getting this sense of higher understanding about your journey in, you know, particular, but like I said, about the human experience in general, and it's allowing you to figure out what really matters and let go of the rest. And you guys are, I feel, going to get a lot of your energy back. If you've been very tired, I'm hearing cranky, you're going to get a lot of your energy back. So this eclipse is going to be really impactful because it's unveiling for you, uncovering. For a lot of you, you're going to be finding out that you're good. You're good with this situation. You're good on your own. You're good with how things are. If anything else comes along that adds to it, great. But if not, I'm happy. A lot of you guys are getting breakthroughs where you're happy with your life. And I feel for many of you, this is also where you're attracting collaborative partnerships, friendships, you know, work partnerships, creative collaborations. You're attracting a lot of energetic support and also a lot more financial security as well. You're going to be sitting pretty. So really utilize this time, set intentions, make plans for how you want to bring this into your life over the next 6 months. You know, still go with the flow, but kind of like, you know, be intentional about the actions you want to take. But this is good stuff. So I really love this for you guys. I hope this helped. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm wishing you a safe, happy, healthy new moon eclipse. Take care. Bye. Okay. Hi, group 3. So you guys chose the fuchsia agate. I gotta say, first of all, this is a heart chakra stone, very healing. Sorry about all the little blue lights. Apparently my new glasses do that, so but that's all right. We're still learning. These are my new ones, so I'm like learning how to use them. This is very much a heart chakra opening and healing stone. I went to take a sip of water before, sorry, I had a little phone call, before I, what was I gonna say? Oh, I went to take a sip of water before I started your reading, and I was just like guzzling it down. You know, sorry, I'm fixing this one more time. And I just like guzzled it down. Some of you, like, this eclipse is going to be uncovering huge opportunities for emotional healing. Gargantuan issues you have dealt with probably your whole life. I don't know why I'm sitting like real close, like we're having like a real intimate chat kind of a thing. A lot of you might be end up like talking about these situations with friends a lot over this, like the next 6 months or so. And so it's, again, I got like that conversational feel. Pardon my itchy nose. Yeah, huge opportunities. My nose, for healing. All right, hang on, let me fix this once for all. Ow, ow, ow. It's hard to have an itchy nose when you have nose rings because it's like, oh, that one hurt. All right, cool. So I do see that here. Drink a lot of water. Water is incredible. Not only is it good for you physiologically, but spiritually it's very, very healing. God damn it, stop calling me. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry. I know, I think it's my local pharmacy and I really appreciate them, but I'm just like, not now, I'm busy. I'm trying to talk to my people. So that's something that I definitely am picking up on. So I had initially pulled tarot as signifiers just for the thumbnail, but I actually felt drawn to keep them. I'm going to flip it over, but I want to make a note that when I was picking up the cards, I almost wanted to flip this one the other way. So it could go either way, or that might be a significant change. I'll explain once I see it, because I haven't seen it yet, but I just want to kind of make note of that. Yep, there we go, the 10 of Pentacles. So I almost wanted to like flip it so it would be reversed. The 10 of Pentacles is generational inheritance, positive or negative. And so what a lot of you might be having big epiphanies about releasing and healing are these generational patterns, these, for some of them, getting expectations that have been with you for a very long time. Excuse my burp. That have been with you for a very long time, that have influenced your life, influenced your beliefs, influenced your perception of what it means to live a meaningful life. Wow, that's huge. And you're letting it go. And this feels like a kind of a shock, right? This feels like this feels like you think that you're finding one epiphany and you just like keep going. Like imagine it's like a thread, and then you know, it opens you up to a web of interconnected threads. This is where you're going to be having a lot of understanding about, for some of you, you're going to be finding out information about your family members, about, you know, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, or something that might indicate to you why things have been the way they are. And the reason why this is important is because it allows you to then, I want to say alternate, that's not the word, assess really, and decide if this is good for you. So some of you, this is where you're going to be finding an alternative that then works for you. Some of you are going to feel safer about choosing an alternative lifestyle, an alternative path, because it's like, oh, well, that was so important to them because of this. That makes sense. But I don't have that same thing, and I want to do something else. I want to experience something else. So like, my life is allowed to be different. A lot of you are having big epiphanies when it comes to your family's history and the expectations you subconsciously have created for yourself because of those. That's spicy. Let's see what you get. Beneath the surface, what's really driving you? True motives, breaking free. I don't see these cards. I like to discover them with you. I'm gonna shit my pants. Yeah, wow. Like, on the nose. But yes, that's on point. That's on point. I've done this for a while. It's still so cool. It's still so cool every time. Okay, I'm done now. Mediator, yeah. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. Some of you, you're going to be having insight into maybe how I'm getting grandparent energy a lot here. So like into maybe how your grandparents do things, how they did things, or your parents, and it's like you've had a power struggle either with them or within yourself because they wanted one thing for you, you really wanted something else. It's like, I can't get them to see where I'm coming from. I don't know why they think this way. I don't know why they can't understand this. And you're going to be finding out, even look how this person looks like they're bound, but they're holding these people's hands. You're going to be like, something that's kept you feeling very restricted. You're going to finally get insight and information that allows you to finally be able to speak in a way that they can hear you. Finally allows you to be able to explain where you're coming from, or allows you to be able to move forward and make choices for yourself and feel at peace, right? Because you're not personalizing it anymore. Sorry, I'm like uncomfortable. Here we go. I'm fixing my little shirt under here. But it was like riding up and I'm like, it's uncomfortable. But this is what's going to be the key. And I feel like it's going to allow you, like, my rule of thumb with this deck is when it's upright, I read the light attributes, but I want to look at the shadow. It says negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. I feel like it's been hard to get the people in your life to understand your choices or to understand you, to get on the same page, because they've had kind of hidden agendas. Now, that doesn't mean they've been trying to manipulate you. This feels more like covert contracts where they have hidden expectations that they are unaware they have, and they project those outward. And so it's hard to have an honest conversation because, you know, they might be coming up with logical justifications for how they feel, but can't connect with those feelings. So when you're trying to talk to them and get them to really hear you, they kind of can't. And so it makes it hard to make progress. I think there's going to be some insights that not only help set you free, but help you be able to speak with them with more, with more, to create more understanding. I got the word antipathy. So they might meet you with a lot of antipathy. They might, they might be fighting you a lot. They're always like ready for battle. They're always tensed for a battle with you. There's something like that. We'll see what comes out. Gemini. You could be dealing with a Gemini. That could be you. But we have the butterfly here. There's transformation. Curious, communicative, versatile, flexible, variety seeking, social, collaborative, brilliant, perceptive, connected, vocal, adaptive, street smart, mobile, studious, superficial, restless, and fidgety. I'm really drawn into communicative, versatile, variety seeking, adaptive, and a little bit of restless. We'll talk about that in a minute. We have the solar plexus chakra 15 with self-mastery. Yeah. And romantic love. 34, reducing to a 7. I already know where this is going. The frequency of romantic love supports our experience to know ourselves through the reflection of a conscious lover. So for some of you, this is about somebody that you love. This is about somebody that you want to love. And your family might not understand. Honestly, your family might not get it. For some of you, you are in a same-sex relationship, or you would like to be, and your family's struggling to understand that. For some of you, you might be in a relationship. Sorry, it's a low power. You might be in a relationship where you are of different ethnic backgrounds, different races, different. You have different cultural backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, and that might actually cause a huge problem. The 10 of Pentacles can usually indicate like tradition, right? This is multi-generational traditions. And for some of you, you just want to experience love in a way that is different than what your family has in mind. Maybe you don't want to get married. Maybe because the 10 of Pentacles reverse can kind of talk about like bucking traditions. Maybe you don't want to get married, or maybe you don't want to get married in the way that they want. There is something here about love. For some of you, you have a love in your life, or you have had a lover that has caused you to see yourself differently. Self-mastery. This process has caused you to evolve, right? We also have adaptive here and restless. Something about your life you felt restless in your life because it's not authentic to you. And for some of you, this is a love that has caused you to really dig deep to a level of self. We have 15 here. It makes me think of the Devil card in the tarot. Really caused you to dig deep. Really caused you to get clear on some pretty gnarly karmic patterns. I'm hearing traditions. What is this self-mastery about? The 3 of Cups reversed. The 4 of Cups. Some of you, there is a family pattern that has to do with substance use, because the 3 of Cups can be partying and drinking. Has to do with substance use as a way of coping with emotional overwhelm, emotionally distant people in your life. There's a sense here of the self-mastery is really in admitting, for some of you, there's a person that your family would want you to be with, or the type of person your family would want you to be with. And then there's the person that you love. And it's kind of like you could have all the abundance in the world with this other person, with the person they want, or the type of person they want. And maybe there's a lot of material abundance attached to it as well. Like, this is usually like multi-generational wealth. There's the sense here of you could seemingly have it all, but it's not forever for you. It's not the payoff for you. And for many of you, I feel like this is because you have met somebody already. You have already connected, whether you are now disconnected or not. You have already connected with somebody who has shown you what you really want out of love. And for some of you, this isn't even just about like standing up to family. This is really just about getting clear about unhealthy family patterns and letting it go. And for some of you, these unhealthy family patterns were all about accepting tepid halfway love, not really accepting serious love, right? Not really like, you could have been like really attracted to people who are kind of like avoidant, or people who are emotionally closed off. There's a sense here where that was your comfort zone. Yeah, the 6 of Cups and then the 8 of Pentacles reversed. Some of you, this goes all the way back to childhood, and this has a lot to do with like, I'm getting this energy of no matter what I do, it's not enough. Maybe people who didn't do a lot of work in relationships. You could have gotten an idea very early on that work was the most important thing. We have the Moon reversed. A lot of you, this could be a pattern, like I said, about not really feeling like like relationships are a place where your feelings matter, right? It's kind of like, it's something I'm picking up here. And for others, this is where, again, you met somebody. This person is a soulmate to you with the Six of Cups. This person, you knew them upon meeting them. They felt familiar. For some of you, it was love at first sight, and that will be a synchronicity. This is somebody who made you feel things effortlessly, who made you feel things that you have worked so hard to try to feel in the right relationships. Something that maybe with your family, if you have an emotionally distant family where it's like you have to work and work and work to get them to care about your emotional needs, to get them to want to show up. You don't have to do anything. This person naturally understands you. This person loves you. This person loves you innocently. And it's caused you to really get clear on what you want, I feel. Again, the self-mastery. We have the Death card reversed. This was something where I think you've been asking for a change for a long time. And this relationship, I feel, is pushing you to taking the next steps in that transformation. What is this self-mastery? The Seven of Cups reversed. Getting clear on your feelings and what you want to do about them. And being able to talk about that very openly with the people in your life, I feel, for many of you. Yeah, the Eight of Cups, which means walking away from, being willing to walk away from what's not working. Some of you guys maybe, I'm almost getting the sense of, maybe think of like a love camel. Sorry, that's funny to me for personal reasons. Yeah, you've been really used to, when it comes to relationships, because water always in the tarot is indicative of our emotions, our intuition, you've been used to surviving off of nothing, right? You've been used to surviving off of very little. Three of Pentacles in reverse. You've been used to dealing with people who don't meet you part way, who don't do the work about, like, who don't want to do the emotional work with you, who don't want to know about how you're feeling, right? This is very much an energy of like, if you're sad, keep it to yourself. You know, unless you have something to celebrate, I don't want to hear about it. There's something kind of like that. And it feels like with whoever this love is, this person, again, it's like you don't have to do the work. They emotionally, they understand you, right? They get you. They understand your feelings intuitively. They understand you. And for a lot of you, it's causing you to get the self-mastery energy. It's causing you to be preparing to make big changes because you're getting clear on your feelings. A lot of you are waking up to some of your feelings. Look at all the different colors here. You're waking up to a variety of feelings. You're waking up to a very abundant emotional spectrum. You're realizing, oh shit, I'm actually a really sensitive person. Some of you with this Gemini energy, you may have been really taught to kind of live in your head, to really like go back and forth on things logically, intellectually. And there's this recognition that you have these hidden depths. You have this like very, very deep emotional world. And somebody brought that out of you. I feel like whoever this is, you love them very much. I'm getting choked up here. You love them very much. And they love you too. They're a reflection of your consciousness and you of theirs. And I feel like this is, I don't know who I'm talking to on this one, but I'm just going to put this out here. They are a reflection of your consciousness. This is the love that you've been waiting for, because this is the love that finally freed you, that is freeing you. This is the love that pushed you to see so much more within yourself. You know, I'm just noticing. Where'd it go? Damn it, it was at the top here. Hang on, my friends. Look at how we said all the different colors. Look at that self-mastery. Understanding all these different parts of yourself. You are an incredibly deep person. You're an incredibly intuitive, emotional, feeling person. Six of Swords in reverse, though, popped up. This was something from childhood that needed to be healed. is being able to allow yourself to be adaptive, to transform, to be all sides of yourself. You are a very complex, multifaceted character here. And you've been reducing yourself down in the hopes of getting something for it. Love, a sense of family, support. For some of you, there's some type of material investment attached, like a home, a family home, an inheritance. You've been hoping to get something for it. And I feel like the love that you have for somebody has been pushing you towards something more. And some of you just like need to know. Some of you are 34 years old, or you're about to turn 34. The number 7 might be important as well. Some of you could be 43. Like, you need to know you feel this for a reason. For some of you, you just need to know this love is special. If you feel like it's opening up all this stuff from you, and if you feel like it's pushing you towards something more, like, some of you need to know that, because I feel like what this is waiting on is you to break free. And some of you need to know this is your person, especially that Gemini energy. I see you going back and forth. I see you being indecisive. Some of you need to know this is your person if this is waiting on you. And for a very small number of you, this is your person's energy, and you're so connected that you felt drawn to this group. And if this resonates, you'll know, but like, your person's working on being able to detach from this, and this new moon eclipse in Libra is going to really elicit forth a lot of understanding from them. So I want to know more about what this new moon eclipse is bringing out. Yeah, the 2 of Wands. This is figuring out what path to take. Really reflecting on that. Once again, going back to something. There's something here with the Knight of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, of seeing a lot more potential. See how the bridge is kind of like ethereal and ghostly? Seeing the potential that you couldn't see before to build the bridge to the other side, whether it's to being with somebody, whether it's to your healing, whether it's to, that mediator card, being able to like finally know what to say to your loved ones to get them to understand where you're coming from. Some of you want to move and you're just afraid to move away from family because it will be poorly received. 8 of Swords, yeah, this is bringing in the understanding to know what to say. The moon reversed, your intuition is going to be very heightened. It's going to allow you to be able to, especially at any point where you're at a crescent moon. I'm also seeing like during the holiday season, like a couple months from now, it's going to be a really good time to talk to them. Cancer and Pisces showing up, yeah, and the 6 of Swords reverse. What this is doing is this is really showing you in no uncertain terms what from your childhood has impacted you, what needs to heal. Again, some of you are getting information about why things are the way they are, why the status quo is the way it is in your family. And I feel that it's allowing you to see possibilities to get to the other side. Ultimately, you have decisions, right? You have free will. You can get this information and choose to not address it with them. You can get this information and choose to not pursue this person, or choose to keep things the same. That's your choice. But I feel like what this eclipse is bringing you is the opportunity to know what to say to bring in healing and balance, and the understanding that allows you to move forward regardless of what the outcome is. That allows you to release emotionally and have a sense of self-mastery and personal empowerment. This is very powerful stuff. So I think that's just about everything I'm seeing for group 3. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you a safe, happy, healthy new moon eclipse, and I will hopefully get the chance to read for you again real soon. Take care. Bye.